All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 144. I've got my good buddy, Adarsh Menon. How you doing, brother?
Hey, good to see you.
Did I butcher your last name? Hopefully not, man.
No,
I forgot
Menon.
to ask about
It's good.
Menon?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it. Beautiful. Wanted to get you on the show for a while, man. We were planning this course for a little while.
That's
and
right.
For those of you guys that don't know, we did one of the actual, almost like the pilot for this.
Yeah, it was like the
way
second or third
back.
episode.
I think it was the second, right? So it was
Right.
pretty cool. Way back, actually, in the description. You guys can go back and check that out if you want.
That's right.
Yes. I also want to give a welcome to the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs, where we are streaming live to this channel as well. Let us know if you guys have any questions inside the chat. Also, let me know how the audio is going, because this is the first time we're streaming to the Thai group, Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs. Yes, beautiful.
Sounds good.
All right, man. So I have to ask, how are you with spicy food usually?
Oh, well, I'm Indian, so I
Yes.
think it's in our blood.
Yeah.
You have to like it.
I assumed that, but I have to, you can't
But then
assume
I'm
anything
scared
anymore.
after having said that.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, I can't even get to level 2, and you're like, dude.
Oh no, we're gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. Yeah. Beautiful, man. So first, before we start, what brought you to Taiwan, and how long ago was it that you came to
Yeah,
Taiwan?
so it's been a while. So almost 20 years ago. So
Shoot.
2003,
Beautiful.
back in the day. It was
Okay.
actually right after SARS in that time.
Okay.
So there must be a period of time from one pandemic to the next.
That's right.
maybe
Yeah.
20
20 years.
years.
20
Yeah.
years. Okay.
So I told my parents I'll just go to Taiwan for a year.
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll
Same.
be back. Don't worry.
We'll be back. Yep.
But then this place kind of sucks you in, as I'm sure many people here know.
Yeah.
So I came here to teach English, like many foreigners who show up here. And so I enjoyed teaching. I did that for 3 years. But while I was teaching, my background, I came from Canada, so I did my
Okay.
degree in computer science. So while I was teaching, I enjoyed the process of teaching. But in the back of my mind, I was like, this doesn't really have anything to do with computers. So I should probably be doing
Okay.
something along those lines. And then after 3 years, I'd actually decided I would go back to Canada.
Okay.
But then at this point, I had learned how to teach, which I think is an important skill that everyone should learn.
It's a huge skill. It's a huge
Yeah.
skill. It's a super underrated skill for sure. Yeah.
Because, when you teach, it's like public speaking and,
it's huge. Yeah.
talking with a clear voice and being understood, like good social skills to have.
Super important. Yeah.
So I picked up on those. So I enjoyed the teaching. But then I knew if I go back to Canada, I wouldn't really be teaching there. And one of the reasons I chose Taiwan, I thought if I have to learn another language, obviously Chinese is a pretty good language to learn.
Beautiful. Yep.
But then I thought I had picked up some Chinese on the street. But then I thought if I go back to Canada, I'm never really going to use this Chinese.
Yeah.
So then this whole experience would kind of be lost.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if there was a way to combine the teaching I'd learned along with the Chinese and computers and put them together. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. So while I was here, I'd wanted to learn Chinese, but I didn't want to enroll in an actual in-class course.
Yeah.
Because at the time, you come here, you're single, you teach during
Yeah.
the day, then in the evening you get like a bushiban job. So you're teaching constantly, make money. So for me, if I had to schedule time to sit in the classroom, to me it's like costing double. Like this is time I could be teaching. So I
True.
didn't want to
Yeah.
invest that.
Uh-huh.
So at the time, I would pick up all these books and CDs and whatnot to learn Chinese. But then most of them were designed by native Chinese speakers, which makes sense. But then I found that obviously how they learned the language is different than how we would, coming from an English background, learn Chinese. So many times as I was learning, I kept thinking, if I was teaching, I wouldn't teach this way. Right, I would stop talking about this and
Yeah,
teach
of course.
this part. This is the most important part. Why are you not mentioning? So I thought, what if I just create a course, an online course, like the way I wish someone had taught me? So now it was kind of coming together. Okay, maybe this is something I could do, but I had no idea where to start. I'd never had a business or anything in my life.
Yeah.
And then along that time, I picked up this book, the 4-Hour Work Week by
Yeah.
Tim Ferriss.
Check that out. Boom.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
look at
there
you.
we go.
All
There we go.
prepared.
We're ready
Yeah.
to rock. Yeah.
Yeah. So the premise of this book is how to create a business that kind of runs itself in the background.
That's the dream, baby.
Yeah. So, and in fact, as I was teaching, I taught here for 3 years at a high school. So the first year it was all new to me, new kids. And then the second year I was teaching, but it was the same material that I taught the previous year. And then the third year I was teaching, I was thinking, I should just record my voice because I'm just saying the same thing again and again.
Yeah, it seems to be like that, right? Yeah. Agree.
And then around this time is when, this is about 2006,
Okay.
is when podcasts were just starting to be in vogue kind of thing.
Yes.
And so at the time, I found people were using podcasts to learn languages.
Sure.
So you're at the gym, learn some Chinese. You're on the bus, learn some Chinese. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. So I thought this is a really good medium. And then I have kind of my own spin of how I want to teach, kind of the way I wish someone had taught me.
Yeah.
And then I read the book that kind of shows you how to set up your business on autopilot. So then I just put it all out there. And then I started this website. So it's clo.com.tw, which is still going strong today.
Beautiful.
So
how long ago was that?
So this is 2006.
Okay. So, and it's still, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you guys are, the link is in the description, so check it out if you guys are wanting to learn some Mandarin. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's free lessons on there. There's paid content, and the site kind of runs itself for people who want to study on their own. So it works pretty well. So that was my first introduction to business, entrepreneurship.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, wow, this is pretty good. So then at the time I was living in Taichung. So then I ended up setting up an office. I had staff who came in and employees and whatnot. So it was fun. I think you have a picture of the office. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, okay.
Long time ago.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first office in Taichung. So then at the time I thought, because the Chinese I had learned, it was just kind of basic Chinese, what you learned on the street and what.
And how did you learn it? Just by talking with people, or?
So from books and CDs and whatnot.
Okay.
My actual approach was because I would learn something and it's something you would never use,
Gotcha.
I forgot my passport today or something, and you never need to say this.
Yeah. I don't even take my passport out the house ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and chances are if you need to use that line, the person probably knows what passport is. You don't have to say it in Chinese.
Yes. Okay.
So I was learning all this stuff that I would never really use, but then the day-to-day stuff that I actually needed to say, I didn't know how. So then my new approach was kind of, if I heard a word or expression many times, then I would be like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I'd hear, obviously there's the ni hao, xie xie, all of those things, but sometimes you'd be like, mei guan xi, and it's like, oh,
mei guan xi.
What does that mean?
There's mei guan xi, and then there's mei wen ti.
Yeah, exactly. So little phrases.
Little things, right? Yeah.
You pick up. And then what does that mean? So they fill you in, and then you start to learn the context of where to use. So slowly from there, you piece together. So in the beginning, when someone says a sentence to me, I might understand a few keywords.
Okay.
And then slowly it became maybe it's 20%, then over time 40%, then 80%.
Gotcha.
And then so you kind of know the main, all right, this is what you need. Mm-hmm. This is the stuff you need to get around town.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I was teaching up front.
Mm-hmm.
But then once people actually started to pay money, and I thought, wow, this is serious. This could be an actual business.
Yeah. It's kind of like a test, and you're like, oh, this is great. So let's go. Okay.
So then I thought, okay, I need to put some effort into my own Chinese. So then I enrolled. So this was in Taichung. I enrolled in a local language center in Providence University.
Yes.
Shout out to Jingyi Dashui in Taichung.
Right. Oh, nice. Okay.
And so I was at this language center. So I kind of showed off my website,
That's awesome.
And this one teacher at the time, she was like, I should show this to the director. And she showed the director, and he's like, we need a website. And then I ended up creating a course for them, that even that is actually active today.
Yeah.
So
is that it?
Yeah. So
Perfect.
The same textbooks that they were using at the time, you go onto the website, and there's review tools and exercises and flashcards and things like that, and the computer tells me this is correct, this is wrong. So people kind of hey, this is pretty cool.
Bye guys, thank you. Take care.
Yeah, so that was a nice project. Made some money over it for a few years. So I was like, so slowly, you start with the first project, you take what you've learned from there, build up some skills, move on to the next one. So fast forward to 2011, and I entered this a startup competition that
Okay.
was here in Taipei. It was called Startup Weekend. So I formed a team, and people joined my team. I knew one guy there. The rest were just people I met at the weekend. So we pitched an idea. We formed a team. We created a prototype.
Yep.
And then you had to present kind of like Shark Tank, Dragon's Den,
That's
that kind
cool.
of thing.
Okay,
You
okay,
pitch.
okay.
This is what we came up with.
Uh-huh.
And then judges pick like the best team.
Okay.
And then my team ended up winning.
Nice.
So
That's the food jing you were
yeah,
talking about,
that's the
right?
food
let's,
jing.
let's grab the first wing and then we'll do the
Ooh.
food jing real quick,
Good.
yeah? I
Yeah.
don't want to cut you off, but I don't want you to have
Good
all the
timing
super
there.
duper cold wings here, yeah? So first one's buffalo. You get that all the time. So you can go
Awesome.
drum or wing, whatever you want, man.
all right.
You want the wing?
Yeah,
All right, all right,
I'll
all
do
right.
that.
Cheers. Thanks for coming,
Cheers.
brother.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Let's dig in.
While you eat that, if anybody has questions, we are streaming to www.eddy.live. If you are watching from Facebook or for some LinkedIn or something like that, jump on over to eddy.live. You can ask your questions there. You can ask them on Facebook, but sometimes with the tech, it doesn't pop up live. Like I see that there was a couple of questions asked, but they're not popping up here, so we can't see them. If you want to guarantee your question to be asked, jump on and sub to the YouTube channel, and then we'll answer them right now. Yeah? Perfect, because we see some people watching. Yeah, beautiful. And so this is the buffalo, right? We
Yeah,
start with the
good
basic
stuff.
buffalo, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so this
So
is,
good.
I think, your boy's favorite,
Yeah,
right?
my son's favorite.
Yeah, I don't know if can say his name online. But yeah, so Ishan's favorite, so we come
Mm-hmm.
and get the wings all the time. He's the wing machine, yeah?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
the
so
biggest fan.
beautiful. Yes. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, so food jing, right? You were talking a little bit about that.
Yeah,
right?
so the concept behind that, it's a play on the word fujin in Chinese,
Okay,
meaning
so you didn't
nearby.
know that. Okay.
So the idea is if you have a craving, so like buffalo wings,
Mm-hmm.
you could go on kind of like a search engine and type buffalo wings, and it would search menus of all the restaurants in the area.
There you go.
And yeah, so we ended up winning. So we got some money out of that. And then I kept the team. We were in Taichung. We formed a little team. We worked on it for a few months. And then we entered an incubator program. So even that, you had to apply for it. Many teams applied, and they'll pick which teams that they think have the most promise. So we were fortunate to get into that incubator program, which so at the time I was living in Taichung, but then we got to move out to Taipei for a little while, and I got to do presentations and speeches at like Google and Microsoft and
Well, you're blasting through all this, man. Check it out. Bam.
oh yeah,
There's Google.
There's me.
There's Google,
Giving
man.
a presentation.
So Google in Taiwan? I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
this is in Taipei 101.
Okay,
They have an
okay.
office there, very fancy.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So
I got to get out of
to
Tianmu
meet-
more.
There
Okay.
you go. So they got to meet like important people at Google and did this presentation and
Okay.
investors and whole different kind of world, right out
Yeah,
there.
of course, yeah.
So you're out there hobnobbing with all of these people,
Nice.
and yeah. Then I would give presentations at different fairs and things. I think the next picture is me demoing at one of these events. Oh yeah, so
that be
that's
this one?
me.
Yeah.
So these are two of the one guy on the left was our main programmer. The guy on the right was our designer.
There's
And
that
then-
one, and then there's
yeah,
this
and then this
one.
is
Yeah.
me giving a presentation. So you might recognize Sasha on the left there. I
It's
think you
Sasha, man. Like Sasha's the guy. It's funny because when I was putting these pictures up, I didn't recognize him,
Yeah.
and when you mentioned it, I was like, "Oh shoot, that is Sasha."
yeah.
With his hat and his hoodie. That's
And
hilarious.
it was funny when I was at my. What I remember about Sasha is we had done the
Uh-oh.
presentation.
Okay.
No, this is a good
Okay,
story.
okay.
Yeah. We did the startup demo, and it was the final day. We do the demos, and then we sit down, go through all the teams. There were like 10 different teams.
Yep.
And then the judges pick like the top 3 winners. So I didn't really know think do we have a chance of winning, or
Yeah.
I had kind of low expectations, and I was super hungry that day because I'd spent all the time in the presentation.
Gotta
So
use
I
your
just
food
finished-
jing.
Yeah, exactly. So I just finished the presentation, and I remember I was sitting in the audience, and I just ordered like a donut or something.
Yep.
And I was sitting there munching, and they said, "We'll now announce the 3 finalists." So team number 3 was like XYZ. Team number 2 is so and so. It says, and now for team number 1. So Sasha, who I didn't know at the time, but he was sitting in front of me, just looking
funny.
at the state. So they announced, and team number one, he takes his camera and then turns to me and points before they've even announced. See, exactly, I'm with my donut. I'm like, why is he looking at me? And they're
That's
like,
awesome.
Fu Jing. I was like, whoa. I was like, how did he know? And so he was like, oh yeah, your presentation was really good. So yeah, so kudos to Sasha.
That's awesome. Sasha's the man. Yeah.
Nice seeing
love
him here the
Sasha.
other day.
That's right. Yeah. It's in
So
there. Yep.
yeah, so I got to go into that startup crowd
I
and
got one more food jing. I think 1, 2. No, that's it. 3.
yeah, and then
That's the food
funding
jings, yeah.
and
Okay.
hobnob with all these investors and stuff. So it was
Yep.
quite an interesting experience. So did that until eventually the funding ran out,
Okay.
and then decided to move on back to my own projects.
Is food jing still going, or did that?
No, we had
stop?
to shut
Yeah?
it down
Okay.
because, I mean, before I started it also, I thought if I'm going to do something that's going down that route, it should be something I couldn't do on my own. So it was kind of like a go big or go home kind of project.
Gotcha.
Where you needed lots of funding to keep going. There was no like revenue model or anything
Okay.
like that. It's just like get lots of users and figure out the revenue later kind of thing.
I think that's a common in startup, sort of the startup thing, right?
So I mean,
Like-
if you have money,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
no problem. That's
Yeah.
the way to go.
yeah,
But then if you're just doing things on your own, then I'd probably recommend other approaches, which we'll get into.
sure, of course, yeah. Says,
Yeah.
stay closer to the mic. Yeah, you got to be close. Yeah, you got to be close
Oh,
to the mic.
okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. And it says great interview. Great interview.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
beautiful. Thank you guys. Yeah,
So,
awesome, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, since then, I've gone back to doing my own projects on my own. Went back to the main site,
Okay.
and then actually around this time in Taichung, I joined a foreign entrepreneurship group in Taichung. So obviously, this is predates Thai over here.
Of course. Okay.
And it was just like 4 or 5 people of us sitting at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And over there, I met this one gentleman who, first time meeting him, but then after that, we kept in contact. And then I was kind of like the tech guy, and he was the business guy. And so he hired me for like a bunch of projects with
Beautiful.
his business
Yeah.
and made a ton of money like off of this guy. Like,
Nice.
Yeah,
I want to make a ton of money off
exactly.
somebody.
So ever since then, in my mind, like I keep thinking, what if I'd never attended that event? Like, how much did that cost me?
Yeah.
Having gone out. So it's been kind of in the back of my hand, like when, like people say, "Oh, you're so lucky, you did this." And so, I mean, some of it, yeah, it does come down to luck, but a lot of it is finding opportunities and putting yourself there. So when
Yeah.
that opportunity comes, you're there to receive it.
You got to
right?
be in the right spot, right? Yeah. Sometimes people don't want to go out, and maybe they're shy or something. But yeah, definitely. Before I came here, I was really shy, like super, like I wouldn't say antisocial, but I would say like really introverted, really quiet, really shy. Then I came here by myself, and for the first like month or so, I decided, I'm not gonna be, I can't be this super shy guy. That I grew up in my little hometown. You can stay in your little shell. You're on the other side of the world. You're in Asia. Eckhart, what's going on, brother? Stay close. Are we not loud enough? Is the audio good or what? Yeah, did you check it? Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, it's definitely so I was doing that, and I decided when I came here, I said, you know what, I'm gonna kind of not really reinvent myself, but I figure I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna do something. Like I have to push myself to be out of the comfort zone, and then
totally.
so when I did that, I found a lot more opportunities for sure.
Right.
Yeah, a lot more, which is I guess similar or the same thing you just said.
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And so when this Thai group was formed, right,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago or whenever it was,
Yeah.
so I had come out to a picnic, I think it was last year or so. I met Andrew, the gang, and from there started following the Facebook group.
Okay.
Then last year they had the mastermind program that went on for I think there was a month, and there were 5 of 6 of us in that group. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting is like the program itself was very nice. Got
Okay.
a lot of actionable information that I could do to work on my website. But what I value even more from that group was the other participants, because
Okay.
they're other entrepreneurs like myself, and even though some of them may have very different businesses than what I do, like the challenges are all kind of similar. right? So even when I chat with Eddy about a restaurant and stuff,
Yeah.
his business is different from mine. But there's still some things that all businesses.
But it is a
can have
business where you're going to need your marketing, and you need your staff, and you got to have your overhead and stuff in
Exactly.
order. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Right. So those are things that affect all. So you kind of have, like with your non-entrepreneur friends, the kind of conversations you have versus what you have with these guys, like, oh yeah, we get it, right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It-
And then you can kind of share, oh, this is what I did to get over that problem. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's the same thing I find even like now I have 2 kids. So when I meet another parent and we chat,
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, my kids do this, my kids. We
My
get
kid
it.
hates school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas with a non-parent, they're like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Yeah, yeah.
You have
Oh,
no
I can sleep very little. Yeah,
Exactly.
well, do that for years and years and years in a row. It's tough. Yeah.
Right.
We've got a question from F. James III. Adam, do you ever plan on getting back into the Learn Chinese Insights podcast?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right, you got a fan. You got some fans. All right.
Yeah. So last year or a couple of years, yeah, actually 3-4 years ago, I think I was still in Taichung at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I had launched a podcast where I would interview fellow expats who have learned Chinese and who use it in their day-to-day life. Just the idea was to motivate people. Like, there's many foreigners in Taiwan who maybe don't take the time to learn Chinese. So this is kind of the motivation where if you've learned Chinese, well, what can you really do with it? So these
Okay.
are people who, some of them are working in big companies and factories and leading teams and stuff all in Chinese and giving presentation. So it's like, well, how did you get into that role? So I enjoyed doing that. But back in Taichung, I'd kind of run out of people to interview. But
Gotcha.
since coming back to moving to Taipei and hanging out in Tai and meeting all these people, I've been thinking of that recently. Maybe I should get back into that. So thank you for asking. It's something definitely I'll consider for the summer.
Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, the answer is yes,
Stay
definitely. Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, and definitely, I think, like, I don't know Taichung very well, but I think that like we're in, I mean, I live in Taipei, and with the business and business owners kind of connect, and there's always people always ask, how do you keep finding people? But there's always a good story to be told, and you meet a lot of people, and I think it's a cool thing for sure.
Right.
Beautiful.
And and I enjoyed the process. So I mean, just like I said earlier, that teaching is, you have to develop all kinds of skills for that. Podcasting is also similar, like doing interviews, and the skills that you develop there, you become a good conversationalist, right?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
My God, I think it ties in with the restaurant really well, because sometimes you have to chat with people that you really don't want to chat with, but you're kind of like, oh yeah, you keep the conversation going. But that's probably any business. You have some great customers, you have some customers that maybe not as great, But yeah, that's the way it is. And I think with the restaurant and the podcast, it's weird, but they kind of go hand in hand with the talking, the conversation, communication side. Yeah, so it's pretty
Exactly.
cool. Yeah, I think most businesses, you need to be able to talk. I mean, it's tough to say, but yeah, you have to be able to talk to people.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all part of
yeah.
it.
It's
And I
always
mean,
about sales and
if
marketing.
people like you, they're more
Yeah.
willing to buy things from you, do business with you. And especially, I mean, in Taiwan, if you're dealing with local Taiwanese, this
Yeah.
whole guanxi culture.
Yeah.
Like even when I mentioned me building that website for the university, it's because they knew me, because
Yeah.
the teacher introduced me. If I just walking off the street, they're not going to care about me.
It's easier to do it with somebody and then sometimes there's that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So back to being in this Thai group.
Let's grab the next one,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then we'll
let's
jump
do
in.
that.
We'll jump in on the
This
Thai.
one here?
So this is Korean. You can go drum, or you can go whatever you want, bro.
Oh,
Drum
try
or
this
wing,
one
whatever
here.
you want. So this is the Korean. Yeah, this is the Korean.
Ooh, nice.
Get in on that. Have you tried this one before? I'm not
sure
sure
if
if you
I-
have.
maybe
Yeah,
I
well, you will. You'll know.
Ooh, that's.
You'll know.
Can feel the kick
In a second,
already.
yeah. So for those of you guys that are watching, at the end of this month, there will be a course on how to start your online business, right? Let me just pull that up there. Boom. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I cut the top off there. My bad.
That's all right.
How to get started with your own online business. And yeah, so that will be hosted by Adarsh here. And it's going to be an online course, right? So you can do
It's
it
just
from...
like a one session, an hour and a half.
Okay.
So I'll get into in a moment
Yeah, so
what you'll learn in there.
so for those of you guys that are interested in learning, maybe you're thinking about doing an online course or sorry, an online business. This is a great course to take, and Adarsh is also collabing with the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneur Group, which is great, right? I think it's a really group. I checked it earlier. It's about 5,400 people
Almost
in the group.
6,000
Like it's
now,
almost
yeah.
6,000 or something like that, right? Close to 6,000, which is great. I think it's the biggest entrepreneur group, I believe, in Taiwan, at least the biggest that I know of, and it's great. I think that if you want to do it, yeah, if you want to do it, check it out. The link will be in the description below if you want to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so joining these Thai events and going to the picnics and things, I've found there's a mixture of people, obviously, who attend these. So some of them have established businesses, but then there's a lot of people who, might be teaching or have a regular day job, but they know that entrepreneurship is kind of the way to go. It's the way of the future. It gives you flexibility and whatnot. So
Yeah.
there's
Not at
a-
the beginning, maybe, but eventually, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the goal anyway. Right. So they may realize that that's the end game that they want to get to, but they may not know exactly how to get there or what steps. Or you may have a particular talent or expertise, but you don't, well, what do I do next? Because, I mean, the common myth is like you could be a great chef. Oh, you should start your own restaurant. Right?
Oh,
Well,
well,
so the food is one aspect, obviously, but my guess
it's a big aspect, but it's not. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of. If they're watching, this is not. I'm not picking on you, but I know a lot of my friends that are amazing chefs, actually much better chefs than I am, that have opened restaurants and no longer have a restaurant because it is crazy. I mean, you got to do your numbers. First, you got to have your food. You got to have drinks. You got to have service. You have to be able to teach people. You have to be able to teach people to teach other people. Man, there's a lot. I mean, I think that's probably any business, but you have to, have people have to have a nice attitude. They have to have a good experience. There are going to be slow months, so you got to figure out how to boost those months. You got to know how to market. Ideally, you build your email list. There's a huge. It's a lot. It's a big learning curve. I think now with social media, stuff like that, I wouldn't say it's easier. It's easier to get the word out, but I think that I believe that everybody should try entrepreneurship. It's tough. A lot of people are going to fail. I know that restaurants fail. Many fail within the first year, and then a good percent fail within the next 5, and then I think it's like high 90s fail in 10 years. They're gone. So to make it past 10 years is a pretty big thing. We've been doing it for about 15, which is huge. But at the end of the day, sometimes something happens like a COVID, and it wipes almost everything out. And again, COVID wiped out a whole bunch of restaurants, and it's crazy. But I think most businesses are going to be similar like that. But it is what it is, I guess, right?
Yeah. So one benefit we have of the age that we're living in now is you can start an online business, whereas before, like the standard bricks and mortar restaurant, like obviously if
It's
you come...
expensive to set up a brick and mortar. Yeah.
So if
for
you've
sure.
ever been to Eddy's restaurant, and if not, shame on you.
You guys need to come down. Come on.
Yeah. But you can look around and okay, this isn't cheap.
Yes.
But obviously this wasn't how he started. You start small, work your way up, and we know the whole story there. So it's the same thing with businesses, and the good news is with online sites, you can start for like next to nothing, like even for free.
I love it. Yeah.
And in fact, that's how I got started with my first business, the site that, like I said, it's still going today. I went set up a free WordPress site, a free theme, just customized it myself. Zero design skills, zero anything.
Awesome, yeah.
But just enough to get something out there. Then set up a free podcast to bring people in.
Yep, I love that.
And then I think initially I was just charging for transcripts of the podcast. And then, people started paying money for that. And even those I would just type out myself.
Nice.
And then slowly the money that I got from that, I hired this guy out in Russia, a designer. So spent some money making the site look more pretty and more modern. So that brought in more business, and then reinvested that money. So from there you go up, and then later I had to develop an app for it, an Android app, iPhone app, iPad. Like it just keeps going from there. But it's easy to look at a big established business now and think, oh my God, I could never be at that level.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. You don't start at that level.
Nobody starts there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you start small and slowly, just piece by piece, work your way up. So the course that Eddy mentioned that I'm setting up for
That's it.
July 20. It's on July 24th, which is a Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday morning.
And it's online, right?
Yeah, it's online. Okay. So it's an hour and a half on Zoom. And so basically in this course, we split it up into two sections. So some of the people, you can sign up even tonight or while you're watching this.
Please check it out if you guys are thinking about starting your own online business. This is definitely a course you should check out.
Yeah, so there's an event you can sign on. So even if you're not sure if this is for you, just sign on to the event because there's more information that'll be put onto that event page. So once you sign up there's a form you can fill out where you can give more information about what are your specific needs, what's the business that you want to do, where in the journey are you. So it kind of gives me an idea of who my crowd is so that I can tailor the course specific, right, for your needs.
Beautiful.
So I found that there's a mixture of people. There's some people who have no idea at all what they want to do. They just know I want to do some business of some sort.
I think that, yep.
Yeah, I want to get my feet wet in whatever. So we have a little section in the course of how to brainstorm business ideas for you. Because obviously the idea that works for you will be different than the idea that works for me and someone else.
Yeah.
What's your skill set? What do you bring to the table? And actually, many people think, oh, I don't have a skill set. Right?
A lot of people think that, yeah.
Yeah, like what can I bring to the And in fact, I'm the biggest example. I think they call it the imposter syndrome. Like,
yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, what am I doing here? And for me, imagine I'm out here teaching Chinese. Like 20 years ago, if you had told me, or even 25 years ago before I came to Taiwan, that, hey, in 20 years, you'll have a website teaching Chinese.
Teaching Chinese.
So that would make no sense. I don't speak Chinese. Like, why would I? That makes no sense at any level. And even now, I'm not an expert in Chinese at all. But I know enough, to teach someone who is below me. In the sense, they say, like, the best person to teach a third grader is a fourth grader.
Okay,
because
I like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, the fourth grader has just slightly more information than the third grader, but the thing is, he can relate to the third grader so much more.
And it's fresh. And
it's
he's
fresh.
like, yeah,
exactly.
we did that. We just did that. Yeah.
So I know when I was learning, like when I would finally get, oh, now I get it, and I can teach it that way. Whereas something that I found so frustrating before, I know what it's like. So there's things that you think you're not an expert at, but as long as you know slightly more about the subject than someone else, boom, you're already an expert to them.
Yeah,
right?
that's the truth. Yeah. We have another question by Ishan Menon. How's the wings? How are they doing?
The wings are great so far.
Yeah,
but
should we grab another one?
Yeah, let's try
All right,
the next
so let's
one.
grab the green one, yeah.
Ooh, what do we have here?
How's the audio going, guys? We had a couple people mention it was a little bit low. I adjusted a little bit of the gain there. Just let us know if the audio is okay. Yeah, so that's the green. That's the jalapeno. So that it should be. I mean, the Korean is already a bit of a jump from the buffalo. It's tough when you make a hot sauce. It kind of up and down, because it's kind of like a living thing. When you make it, it's super hot. Sometimes it's really hot. Sometimes it's not. It's
has a slightly delayed reaction.
Yeah. There you go.
Or like, oh, this isn't so. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Cool. So do you recommend people that they don't really know what they want to do, entrepreneur-wise? Maybe people that you said, they think, oh, what am I going to do? I don't have a skill to sell.
Yeah.
They should come and check the course out?
Yeah, so like I said, in the course, we have a section on how to brainstorm what you're good at.
Okay.
And the idea is just to brainstorm like 4 or 5 ideas. And then the second part of the course is to narrow down, okay, from those ideas, which one of them can actually be a business, right? And by business means paying customers. Because there's many
You
ideas
need an
might,
income, yeah.
you might have that are great, but may not translate into paying customers, right? So
Yes, agree.
so the idea is to take those 4 or 5 ideas that you gained from step 1, and then there's a little test that we put each one to
Nice.
with actual numbers and things that come up. And if you hit this number, that's a green light. It means that's a really
Let's
good
go
idea.
for it. Okay.
This number is like a yellow light. Means you can it has some potential, but there may be things you have to be careful
Okay.
with. And then some will be red light, like stay away.
Stay away from
There's
that.
no money potential in those.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's the important part of the course.
Beautiful.
So even if you already have a business and you're happy with it, but you never know, like the next COVID hits or something, or you have time to do like a side hustle and whatnot. Like these big companies like Google, they give their employees like 20% time just to work on pet projects. And from there, some of
amazing.
like Google Maps and some of these big projects came out of that. It wasn't even the main thing, but then that ends up being bigger than the main thing you're working on, so it spawns. So even if you're happy with your current business, but you're just looking for something on the side, or
Yeah.
if you have a traditional business but would like to do something online, diversify
I
your
think
options.
it's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could have like everybody's kind of dream and goal is like multiple streams of income, right? If you
Exactly.
can have different streams coming in where everything's giving you every maybe every business is bringing it a little bit in for you, and then it kind of adds up. And ideally, you have something passive going. That's fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that's it. So even if you're comfortable where you are at now, but you like the idea,
Yeah,
so the way this course is designed is just to give you the tools. So it'll be pre-recorded, or sorry, not pre. It's a live event, but the event will be recorded on Zoom, and then you'll be given a link. So even if you're not available at the exact July 24th time,
okay,
you sign up. You'll get a link later,
okay.
and you can look at it whenever you want. There's no time
So,
limit or
so if
anything.
people do that, sorry, if people are on it live, will they be able to ask questions and stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'd recommend, if you're interested,
Yes.
join the event and fill out. There's a form that asks you some questions about where you are on the stage.
Okay.
Because when I'm filling in the actual course, I'll be looking at those. So I may use examples that people have given me.
Sure.
So if you give me your example, I might, let's do a case study on this, which may be yours. So there's a benefit in that sense. And of course, if you're able to attend the live event and you have a question, hey, how come when I do this, I get a different result, whatever, I can answer on the spot. But, we get it. If you can't make it or you want to look at it later on, that's fine because you get the recording. And there's also a Facebook group where you can ask questions and, so I hope we can get a lot of discussion out of it and you can answer the questions pertaining to your particular situation.
I think I've always found that there's the interactive stuff is always the best.
Yeah.
Like when I used to teach, when I used to coach. Now, if I go to like a lot of times, I'll go to a university and I'll speak, about an internship program, or I'll speak about being a foreigner or being an entrepreneur or being something. Right? You get invited to the universities a lot, and I always try to make it interactive, right? Because if there's just one person that's interacting, it kind of lights up everybody. It kind of keeps the wheels turning on everybody
Totally.
else. Because I've had a few, usually pretty good with it, but I've had a few where it's been like zero interaction, and those are tough because you're just like, it's tough. And then
Is anyone listening?
Does anyone care? Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I like it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, if you're
You
able
guys
to
rock.
attend,
Yeah.
if you're able to attend, by all means, come on down. And even if you're not, come on anyway. You'll get the recording when you're ready. You can, look at it. It's waiting for you.
Beautiful. Yeah. I think the good thing about a recording is you can kind of do it on your own time.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously that's going to be Sunday at what time?
It's
Sunday.
like July 24th from 10 a.m. to 11:30.
Okay. So, for example, if somebody maybe is home on vacation and that's a tough time for them,
Yeah.
they can get the recording.
Exactly.
Right? Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Okay.
And even, if you can't make the live event, there's in the event group, you can also ask questions there. So even if you can't make it, You can put your question in there, and maybe I'll tackle it in the actual course.
Beautiful.
And then it'll be in the recording. So
Sounds awesome. I
Win-win.
love that, man. How was the wing? All right.
it's getting spicy.
You haven't touched
Still-
the root beer yet. All right. I was surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Surprised. Yeah.
I'm working my way up. I was scared
The
that
horchata.
I'll
Yeah.
finish this before I even get to the hot
Oh,
stuff.
we got lots. We got lots of horchata. So,
but you're right.
so that's
Maybe
not a problem at all. So, if people do want to enroll into this course.
Yeah.
There's a link in the description below, and then that'll take you through the process, I guess.
Yeah, so it's a two-step process. If you're not, either way, click on the event. And then if you're in the event and I want to do this, then there's a Google form you go through and just fill out some information from you.
Okay.
And then we'll send you a payment link just to finish it up. And then you're all set.
Beautiful.
And then July
Beautiful.
24th, we do it live.
Nice. So I think there's a couple of common questions that are asked, right?
Yeah.
So the first one would be, do you need any expertise to start an online business?
Oh, so excellent question.
Yeah.
So the idea in the first part in the brainstorming, we look for the specific skills that you have.
Okay.
But they obviously not everyone's like an online genius who knows how to make a website or anything. And I was the exact same way. But the tools that are out there today make it so easy. You don't need to know programming, coding, anything like that.
Yeah.
So there's multiple ways to get started. There's the DIY hack it yourself approach where you can get almost everything done if you want to figure out yourself, or you could hire someone.
It's doable
it's-
yourself.
Oh,
Yep,
absolutely.
yep, okay.
Even kids these days,
Kids,
I'm
yeah.
asking my son for like advice on things like that. He knows more than I do on some of these things.
Yeah.
So you can get it done on your own with minimal skills, or there's tons of sites that where you can hire, some guy in the Philippines or India or someone for peanuts who can build you a site or an app or whatever it is that you need.
Yeah.
So no, you don't really have to have. And in fact, even later on, the skills that Eddy mentioned, like how to market it, how to write articles, you can hire people for all of that.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of those sites have been game changers, right? Because
Oh,
for us, like let's say before any of those sites were available, and I wanted to build a website, and I had to hire a professional, it's going to cost me $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 US to
Exactly.
build a website for my new business where I
Exactly.
don't have the budget, right? But now you're able to, with the technology and websites like that, you're able to find somebody. And for example, I found a guy from India who does all my online stuff, and he gives me a really good price, but I always give him extra. And this way, we have a really good relationship. So if you're lucky on one of those sites, you find somebody great, and then that's it. You're like, this is my guy. I've actually introduced him to multiple different people, and he's got lots of different gigs because he's been great to me. And I just think that that's the way it should be, right? If somebody's
Yeah.
doing well, someone does your sites or some kind of specialty item, somebody does it well, like a designer or something,
Yeah.
I try to introduce them to everybody.
And I mean, if you're not comfortable like going online to hire someone, back to our Thai group, like
Yeah.
you post in there, say, hey, is there anyone who's a graphic designer or marketing?
Yeah.
Every single category, you'll get like tons of comments. There's people that you can physically meet and talk to. And in fact, I myself last week, I was just reading one of the posts. Someone had a question similar to mine, and someone replied to their comment, and I was like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. So then I reached out privately to that guy. I said, hey, I have a similar question. Would you mind taking a look at my site? I'd be happy to pay for your time. And we spent, an hour. He looked through my site, gave me like amazing feedback of what I need to do. Didn't charge me anything. He's like, no, we're Thai. We help each
We're
other.
Thai, all right.
There
yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
So if you're not in Thai, why?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
that
got to
should
jump
be
into the Thai.
the
So
slogan.
below, you'll be able to join the course. I would suggest you jump into Thai if you're not in the Thai group. If you're watching from maybe my YouTube channel or one of my personal channels, jump into the Thai group if you're in Taiwan and you're looking into becoming an entrepreneur, or even if you're curious. If you're curious, like a lot of people that I met, they don't have a business. They're curious about starting a business. They want to try. And yeah, those guys are having a good time. They get to mingle with people like Adam that knows all about how to start an online business from scratch. Maybe there's a few people like myself that have a brick and mortar business. You can pick their brain. And I think when we get to this point, we're happy to help. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching from the Thai group, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we're going to have a lot of really cool. We have a lot of really cool entrepreneur videos and stuff like that. And that way, you actually get to meet lots of people. And I think networking is the name of the game, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Big money.
Yeah, and if you're watching now, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe because that helps the channel to grow. I forget to say it all the time. We get so involved in the conversation. I'm like, I forgot to mention it again. Yeah.
All right.
Should we keep going?
Yeah,
All
let's do
right.
it.
So we're gonna go on that one. So this is the ghost pepper from Empress Hot Sauce. So we've
I
been
watched
using it.
your
Yeah.
podcast with them.
Yeah. So the Empress guys are great. Yeah. So let's try that. Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
So it should be good. So they just sent me a new batch that's a spicier batch because spice it up. I hope it is. I love it. I love the spice. This is probably my favorite of their hot sauces.
That was good.
But they are very sort of creative hot sauce makers, sort of out of the box. I mean, they've got like these crazy flavor matches that you wouldn't think of, like a pineapple miso or what was the one we just had? It's like a mustard. I think it's. I hope I don't get it wrong. It's like a pineapple. No, I'm sorry. It's a passion fruit mustard habanero or something like that.
Wow.
And it sounds weird and funky, but it's delicious. So these guys are like scientists just sitting there making different sauces. So that's pretty cool. So curious about Thai. Okay. Yeah, I think just jump. If I don't have the description in the link, the link in the description. There you go. This is live. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Just I'll put it in the comments, or just jump into Adarsh's course, and it's going to be hosted by that group, so you'll be able to get in there. Beautiful. How was that, man?
Oh, that is a kick.
How does Thai fit into this whole situation with the course, and so how does that work?
So I've gone to these different events and I've met people, and as I said, I've seen there's like different groups of people with different kinds of businesses in different stages. So I thought there seemed to be, a lot of people who need help just getting started, that initial momentum, like what do I do first?
For sure.
Right?
Like
So-
anything in life.
Yeah.
Going back to the gym, whatever.
Oh,
man.
totally. So you need what I'm hoping is once they take that first step, then it becomes easier to get kind of the ball rolling. Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get a glass of just ice? Or half ice? Yeah. Thanks.
Keep going. Yeah, this is okay. Just put it there. It's fine. Thanks. Yeah, so Thai fitting in, you were saying?
Yeah. So then I think it was a month or two ago, Jamie from Thai had posted, is there anyone kind of like industry experts interested in creating courses on different subjects? And I think people could
love that.
vote on their different ideas.
Yep.
So the
I remember
ones that had enough votes kind of got commissioned into an actual course. So it was like a multi-step procedure that my initial idea for the course got enough votes, and then I had to create like a preliminary that Jamie had to go through and vet to make sure it met his standards.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So we went.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we went through multiple stages to make sure it meets Thai's high standard of excellence.
For sure,
So
for sure.
I was fortunate to have passed that, and so yeah, now we're here. So if you want to join this course, I believe you have to do through the Thai group. So if you're not already in Thai, if you search on Facebook for Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs, you
Yep.
should find it.
Yeah.
And then in the group, if you click on their events or just click on the link here, it'll take you directly in there. So the idea is this is kind of the first or second step to getting your business started. And then if people are happy with the product and they've got their initial idea going and they're like, okay, what do I do next? Then I could create a follow-up course. So that's my hope. If there's demand for that, great. If not, I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing so far.
Yeah. I think there will be, but I also think more, they say two heads are better than one, but when you can put a group of heads together, some are maybe new, some are experienced. When you put all these people together, you can actually, some cool stuff comes out of it, and sometimes there'll be somebody that has no idea about business and has no experience, and they'll ask me, for example, a question about, I've been doing the business for a long time, and their view on it is completely like blank. And then once in a while, somebody will ask you something, and it makes you think like, oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. Because as a business owner, you get set in your own ways, right? And you're just like, this is what works, this is what doesn't. But when somebody kind of challenges that a little bit, sometimes it's unfortunately, sometimes it's like rubbish. But a lot of the times, it's like, wait, that could be something. You know what? Let me think about that. Let's try that. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's very cool.
So sometimes you're looking for feedback on your website.
Yeah.
What do you think of this design and things?
Colors for your logo or something.
Yeah,
right?
So when you put it out there, you'll get these like expert opinions. This color attracts attention, and you need to do this and stuff. But then you'll also get people who have no industry experience at all.
Yeah.
But they give you their feedback, which many times is worth more, because that's the majority of your audience.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, why do you click on this and not this? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Yeah, like why do I have to do 3 clicks? I just want one click, right?
Yeah, and you
you're
never
I never
think
thought about that. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's the beauty of the Thai group. You get kind of the broad cross section of the experts to the laymen's and everyone in between.
I love it.
So good place to be.
And it's fun. I've been to a few events. I would like to get out to more, and it's fun. It's fun. The people you can meet and the organizers, Jamie and Andrew, are great people, and it's fun. I don't know. That's all I can say. It's fun. You get to meet people. Yeah, it's a win-win. I think it's the whole networking thing is super important. I should definitely do more of it, but I think that more people should do as much as they can. I sometimes also, as a semi-established business owner and stuff, I also get complacent myself. I'm just like, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But actually, when you do and you step out, it's good because you can meet different people, and there's lots of opportunities out there, for sure.
Yeah.
Agree. How you doing on the wings, man?
Yeah. So far, so good.
So far, so good. You made it. All right. Okay. No problem.
Cool me down.
You want to cool off for a sec, or should we? Let me ask you one.
Another question.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me give you one more question here, and then we'll jump in on the last one. What's sort of an ideal age to start a business, in your opinion, or maybe an ideal age to go to your course,
I mean, if you have the skills to get onto Thai or to watch this event and to have the idea, then you're probably good to go.
Okay.
Again, that's another nice thing about online businesses.
Yeah.
It's catered to every age. So I mean, you yourself, you could be old, you could be young, and you may be catering to people. So in my case, when I started my site, I was looking to solve my own problem. Like, here's the way I wish someone had taught me. So I just created something where I'm the target customer. I have a problem. And if this solves my problem, then I hope it solves someone else just like me.
Beautiful.
So if you can come up with something like that, where you are the target audience and you can solve your needs, then it doesn't really matter whether you're old or young, because there's other people just like you. And chances are, if you have that problem and you can't find a solution, then there's probably other people in the same boat. So that would be a good thing.
Yeah, I also think that when people are thinking about businesses, they should think about like a problem that they solve, right? That's always what the business gurus and the business, the book people are like, oh, what's the problem you're going to solve? Something like that, right?
Right.
Because if it's just like, oh, I'm gonna open this business because I want to, or because I think it's going to be cool, but if it doesn't solve things, it's tough.
Yeah.
And a little while back, you were saying that sometimes people they start their business, and you're looking around here, and obviously this was started from a stand to a small to a medium to this restaurant, the 15-year process. But there's actually that's a slower way, but actually I think it's a good way because there are a lot of people that have made a lot of money. Like, okay, this is my specialty is the restaurant, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of people that they made a lot of money. Maybe they're a celebrity or something, and then they think, oh, I'm gonna open a restaurant. And they go and they make a place like this. They spend, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 million to make a place, look really nice, and then in 6 months it's gone.
Right.
Because it takes more than money, it takes more than food, it takes more than beer. It's a combination of so many different things to keep a business going, and it's tough. And if you can meet people and you can kind of learn a little bit from different people, like I believe there's me, there's a few other restaurant owners in the group, Mayur is in the group, right? Like there's a good mix of people in there. And then if you want to do something online, I know Eckert has sort of like the drop shipping sort of deal and the Amazon stuff, and then there's you with the online stuff. It's a wealth of people in the group that you can learn about. Yeah.
And
sorry.
Recently with these courses, so of course I have my course, but then there's other courses that are happening. There's
Jeannie, right?
Yeah,
Jeannie's got her digital marketing stuff, which is fantastic as well.
Right.
Love Jeannie.
So she has her course.
Yeah.
There's like a course on podcasting
course coming up soon. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So chances are, that skill that you're looking to learn or that you need advice on, there may be a course coming out on that subject. So kind of stay tuned to the group and see what's coming out.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, for me, I'm always juggling here, and there's somebody standing at the door. We're looking for service. All good. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think we nailed most of the topics that we wanted to talk about. The 4-hour work week, I still haven't read that yet, unfortunately, which is kind of silly because that's one of the first ones people are like, you got to learn that one. And I haven't actually done that. But I think the first book that I read that kind of flipped my mind business-wise was, I think, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
It's a classic.
It's a classic, but it was one that was amazing because there's always people that they want to try to keep up with the Joneses, right? And especially, for example, in an area like this, there's Benzes and BMWs and stuff everywhere, and then so people could easily fall into the trap of I should have a nice car, or I should have whatever.
Right.
Whereas you read a book like that and it helps you. It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot because you learn that there's no need. Why would you need to keep up with them? You got to take care of your business. They say mind your business, right? Take care of your business. Yeah, I think that was the first one for me. But the 4-hour work week is it's on the list. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And just something you had said earlier when you were saying, for building a website. I think one of the questions people had asked was like, well, how much money do you need to invest in this course? Not in the course, like to start a business.
Yes.
So like I said, a lot of it can be done for free.
Yeah.
But one of the tools that I mentioned that will be covered in the course is how to test your market for paying customers. So the idea that you come up with, you create a business model and you want to target it for people who are willing to pay for that solution.
Yeah.
Because there may be a problem that you have, but it's not a problem worth paying for. Okay. Or it may be a problem people just pay once and then never worry about it again. So you're constantly looking for new customer. So there's certain markets that are kind of better than others to target. So again, we'll go into more detail in the course about, so if you have 2 ideas or 3 ideas, but this market is better than that one for these reasons. Those are the kind of things, the concepts I want to teach you about. So again, even if you're not ready to start today, you don't have an idea, but if you can get those concepts kind of in your head, then it starts to come naturally. So just like the book that you mentioned, it teaches you concepts about money and assets and, what things you should be spending your money on. And slowly your mind starts to think that way and you start to act that way in general. So that's what I'm hoping with this course. We can teach you some of these skills that are just kind of useful skills. Even if it's not something you're doing today, chances are 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there may be some situation where you're looking to do something new and you're like, oh yeah, what did that course say? I should do this to test if people are actually going to willing to pay for this product.
Beautiful.
So,
what would you say to somebody that says, I don't have time? I don't have time to start a side hustle. Something like that.
Yeah. So that is actually the reason why.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have time, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I hear that one a lot, but I also know that people work their their full-time job, and then they go home and they're watching 3 hours of Netflix, before bed or whatever. So what would you say to kind of someone in that
Yeah. So I mean, you decide how important.
decide,
Yeah,
yeah.
how important it is. Your time is to you. If you're happy with your current lifestyle or how much time you're spending, then keep doing that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, if you think no, at some point I would like to pivot to something else, then grab the course. And even if you don't have time to listen to it now, keep the link. When you're ready, take a look at it. And then even if you have like a day job that you're fine with, because that's the other thing, to start a business, like going back to the restaurant, most people are not in a position where, okay, I'll just quit my day job.
Yeah, for sure.
Spend
That's
all
not
this
recommended,
money
yeah.
on some new investment and then work 9 to 5 and you don't even make any money for the first 6
Yeah.
months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Most people aren't in that
In
situation.
in the first year, the business may not make money. Probably
Yeah.
won't make money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you may have the greatest ideas in the world, the greatest execution, all of that,
Yeah.
but you still can't do it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not in that position.
Yep.
So going back to an online business, that's another advantage where you can keep your day job, you can work, 4 hours a week or an hour a night or whatever, whenever you have
in your
time.
free time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, it could even be just like a hobby business because it's not costing you much, in terms of actual
That's-
money. You could do something that normally you wouldn't do, but it just gets your feet wet doing something. Let me make a website. Let me see if anybody even comes
Yeah.
to buy. And you can put yourself in a position where, because that's the other thing, the things that I specialize in online is selling information where it's not like a physical product. You don't want to be in a situation where I buy 1,000 of these kits from China and now nobody's
It's like
buying
an
them.
Amway situation, kind of. Like
Yeah,
an
and I'm
MLM
stuck with
situation,
all these
yeah.
things that I can't sell, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So if it's information, you put some recordings out there. If someone buys it, great. If they don't buy it, all it costs you is your time. Fantastic. So start off with something, even if it doesn't make any money, it's fine.
Yeah.
Going back to my experience with that startup, and we got funding and all of that. Yeah, it didn't make me any money, but the experience was, invaluable. All the connections I made and the people I met along the way, that's worth much more. So you could even use this in that aspect, where let me just do a trial business, even if nobody buys my product. At least now I know how to set up a website,
Yeah.
how to create a Facebook ad, and how to do all these other things.
It's not really failing if you're learning, right?
Exactly.
Because you like, for example, when I started this business and then I took a couple courses on Facebook ads, they were fantastic, and from then I learned so much about it. And then now, whenever business here starts to dip, I'll take like a budget of like 100 NT a day or something,
Yeah.
and then I'll start to target people in this area. Hey, come on in for have a free nachos or something. We do this and that,
Yeah.
and then and you're able to control your business instead of just sitting around saying, oh my gosh, my business sucks. Woe is me. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I think when you're learning stuff, it's never a waste. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, if you keep some of these kind of course material,
Yeah.
like I remember sometime back when you got COVID and you were stuck
I
in
did.
your
I had
room
COVID
for like
about a month ago, maybe
a
a
week
month and a
or-
half ago.
and now
Yeah.
suddenly you're like, I have all this time on my hands. What
It was
should I do?
fantastic. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, let's start going through all this training and stuff
Yeah.
you have piled up
I
that you
did.
never got to, right?
I did, and I kind of I reorganized our VIP program.
There you go.
And I finished a lot of things that I wanted to do. Finish updating my menu costs and all that stuff. Just stuff that I wouldn't have taken like a week off to do.
Right,
I
that's right.
probably should have, but sometimes it's busy. Someone calls in sick. What are you going to do? Close. You go and you cover, right?
Yeah.
That's the way. That's a business, right? So it's a bit crazy. I always describe myself as a brick and mortar restaurant owner as living in chaos, because it's kind of like it's just this perpetual cycle of like it's kind of crazy,
Right.
but it's great. I love it. Yeah. I think
course.
it's one of the greatest things ever, because we ideally we have the freedom to do what we want to do,
Definitely.
right? I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and the times that we live in now,
Yeah.
with COVID and work from home and all of these
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yep. Agree. Yeah.
It's a more reason than ever, like if you to get involved in an online business, even if it's just a side hustle and whatnot.
Yeah.
At least it's like you have that tool, that diversity.
I think it's fantastic. I think everyone should have I think everyone should have a side hustle. Everyone should have a podcast. I think
there you
there's
go.
a lot of cool things that people should do. That's why I started this one, because I get to meet people like you that are they're just cool stories and interesting people, and that's what I want to do. I want to share stuff like that. That's the
Awesome.
point of the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing before we try the last one. What about coding? Do people need to know anything about coding to build sort of their own online business?
Yeah, so maybe like 20 years ago when you were building a website, you needed to know like HTML and all these kind of things. But now all of those processes have been simplified so much. It's like building a PowerPoint presentation.
Beautiful.
Like it's kind of that effect. But again, that's if you want to do it yourself, it's possible.
Yeah.
Or just like, hire someone on one of these sites that'll build it for you for cheap, or go on the Thai group and say, hey, is there anyone who can help me with this? So there's multiple approaches, and none of them require you to know anything about coding. So you're good.
That's great. Okay. Beautiful. I think we covered most of the questions. Let's get that last one. Yeah? What do you
Let's
think?
do it. Yeah.
So the last one is a bit of a jump again.
Okay.
So you're doing drums, go drum, whatever you
Yeah,
want, or
I'll
you
do
want to
that.
do wing, whatever you
Thank
want,
you.
the more meat on there. So this is Carolina Reaper. So this is pretty spicy. This is the last wing.
So is that what this hot sauce is?
That is. And if you guys want to get your own Carolina Reaper hots, this guy's beautiful, man. The marketing master over here. I always forget to mention the sauce. So yeah, we've got the last two wings here. We've got our jalapeno sauce and our Carolina Reaper sauce here that we make ourselves. We actually make all of these ourselves except for the Ghost. That is Empress Hot Sauce. If you want some Empress Hot Sauce, the link's in the description. They're friends of mine. If you guys have a hot sauce making company, local making company, let me know. We'll get some hot sauce on here. We'll try them out, and we'll see if we can't get you some more people to get your hot sauce. We did have Anita's Cantinas. We will get Anita's Cantinas hot sauce back on here again. We like them a lot. So yeah, beautiful. How's that? Let me get in on that one. Yeah.
So you do this every week. Does it build up your tolerance?
It builds up the tolerance. For the first few months, my stomach was trashed. I'm not gonna lie,
I bet.
but it is what it is, I guess, right?
Ooh, that's a kick.
We have the horchata and the milk. I found that the horchata helps more than the milk, though. I don't know if maybe because
It's good.
maybe we got to ice the milk. I don't know.
Ooh, that's hot.
It's very hot, right?
Burns.
That burns. That's a burned one, yeah. Jamie, what's up, man? We got what's up? What up, guys? Some more comments. Hey, guys. Thank you guys for checking us out. Like I said, join the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs Group if you are curious about becoming an entrepreneur or meeting entrepreneurs, or if you just want to network and meet some cool people. Yeah.
Come to Eddy's for your wings.
This guy right here. All right. So, yeah, come here. On Wednesdays, we have half-price wings. Check that out. A hot one,
That's
yeah?
hot.
Yeah. The last one's rough. Oof. Okay. So I think we covered most of the topics we wanted to talk about today. But do you have, you know what? I think we went through, let's wrap it through all the pictures one more time.
All right.
Boom. Talked about that for our work week. Boom. Oof. We did that one already. We didn't do that one though.
Yeah, that was when I enrolled in the language center, and I entered a Chinese speech contest. So that's
Okay.
me up on stage.
Looking good. Looking good. That's the one you did for the university?
Yeah, that's a
Right.
website I built for the university.
Beautiful. That is the announcement for you winning Food Jing.
Yep.
There you go. And then that is you and Sasha. There we go.
Yep.
Ooh, it's getting spicy. Damn. Uh-huh. And then we got the Google,
There you go.
right? Then we got the course here. If you guys are looking at getting started online, this is it. Join the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs Group.
Yeah, so join the event. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it. And hope to see you on the actual course, July 24th.
Sounds good, and we'll do a couple of this because our kids are always playing
Oh,
together.
wow,
Yeah,
there
that's a
you go.
great picture. That's a great picture.
Yeah, you're going to do like a board game night here for kids.
If you guys have kids that want to have board game night, let us know.
Maybe we can
Actually,
do like
Adarsh is kids are really good at board games, and my daughter loves it as well. So that's good. That was a what was that one? What was that board game? The Marvel superheroes
Yeah,
or
the
something?
Marvel Splendor.
Okay. Damn. What was this? You were saying you were living out by the beach now?
Yeah, we live out on the beach, and we went
like
there
science
recently.
class.
This guy is a science teacher.
Ah.
So he was there with his kids, so we got a free science class out of it.
Nice, nice. I actually saw this ad on Facebook for these like little microscopes.
Okay.
That's supposed to be, yeah, I'm thinking about getting one, like a super microscope for my daughter, because take something like that out to the beach. It's
Oh,
going to be
that'd be
amazing.
great.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, my nose is on fire this time. There we go. That was a couple weeks ago, yeah?
Yeah. Kids are regulars here. And even
Favorite
tonight
wing,
they're
the
playing-
buffalo wings. The buffalo wings, right? Sean's favorite buffalo wings, yeah. Beautiful, man. That's all we got. Do you have anything you want to say to anybody who is maybe on the fence about checking out your course before we call it?
Yeah, for now, even if you're not sure if you want to attend or anything, just click on the event. Just click on maybe, because
Yeah.
I believe there's still a couple of weeks left, and we'll be organizing, I think, another Q&A video. So if you have questions, if you're on the ball, on the fence, by all means, ask away.
Beautiful. Sounds good. Man,
Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for coming out. I wanted to get you on here for a while, and I'm glad that we had the occasion to do it this time.
Definitely.
Thanks for bringing the kids out. We got to do some camping and stuff this summer, hopefully.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you guys for watching. Welcome to the Taiwan Impact entrepreneurs that are watching this. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because that helps us to share this with more entrepreneurs that want to hear these stories. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.